Let's play a game. How fast can you tank a billion-dollar empire? Kanye West just showed us it's easier than you think. In this video, we're diving into Kanye's speedrun to financial disaster. From billion-dollar deals to controversial tweets. We'll see how he raced from mega deals to PR nightmares faster than you can say tweet. It's like watching someone play Monopoly, but instead of building the hotels, they're torching their own properties. Ready to see how Kanye flipped the board on his own success? Let's break down his path to ruin, piece by bizarre piece. Alright, let's rewind the clock and take a journey through Kanye West's financial roller coaster. Picture this, a young, ambitious producer with big dreams and empty pockets. That was Kanye back in the day. But boy, did things change fast. In the late 90s, Kanye was making tracks for local rappers in Chicago, trying to get his foot in the industry's door. His talent was undeniable, but nobody saw him as a rapper, just another kid with some solid beats. Then in 2001, Kanye produces 5 tracks on Jay-Z's The Blueprint, one of the most influential hip-hop albums of all time. Suddenly, the industry is paying attention, but not in the way Kanye wanted. He was still seen as just a producer. Kanye wanted to rap, but Rockefeller Records only signed him to stop him from going to another label. Then, in 2002, the moment that could have ended everything, Kanye gets into a near-fatal car accident. His jaw shattered and wired shut. Any normal person would take time off. Kanye? He records through the wire while his mouth is wired shut. It's a move that says, I will not be stopped. In 2004, The College Dropout released. Boom, Grammy wins, platinum sales, Kanye is officially in the game. His net worth, around $1 million. Not bad for a debut. From that point on, Kanye wasn't just another rapper, he was a brand. Just when everyone thought Kanye's talent was confined to the studio, he had his eyes set on high-end designer luxury-level fashion. His first big break, Nike. The Air Yeezy sneakers were a hit. The first time a non-athlete had a signature shoe with Nike, but Nike was hesitant to give him creative control. That right there was a billion-dollar decision, and because of that, Kanye walked because Nike refused to give Kanye royalties. Enter Adidas. In 2013, they teamed up, and it was like throwing gasoline on a money fire. By 2019, the Yeezy brand was generating $1.5 billion in annual revenue for Adidas. That's 10% of their entire revenue. Kanye was reportedly earning up to $220 million a year from his partnership alone. In 2020, Kanye inked a 10-year deal with Gap worth potentially $970 million. Fast forward, and Forbes is calling him a billionaire. While they pegged his net worth at $2 billion, Kanye claimed he was worth $3.3. We'll let you decide which one is right. But empires built on brands and partnerships can be fragile. All those deals with Adidas, Gap, and Balenciaga, they were like a giant house of cards, and Kanye, well, the very partnerships that built his empire also laid the groundwork for future controversies. A prelude to what would soon become a rapid downfall. Now, a quick disclaimer. Before we move on, this video includes discussions of sensitive topics. Viewer discretion is advised. Remember when your parents told you to think before you speak? Yeah, Kanye didn't quite get that memo. It's 2022 and Kanye's empire is looking pretty solid. But then he decides to play a game of, how many people can I offend today? And let me tell you, he was going for the high score. Kanye's controversy spree kicked off at Paris Fashion Week. He showed up wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt, stunning the crowd, but instead of backing down when called out, he doubled down. He got into a public spat with Diddy, suggesting he was controlled by Jewish people. It was like watching the character in a suspense thriller thinking, I wonder what crazy thing he'll do next. And boy, did Kanye really one-up himself, going on Twitter and writing that he's... Well, you can read the tweet. This was widely condemned, and social media platforms quickly showed Kanye the door. And as the business world watched this train wreck unfold, Ari Emanuel, the CEO of Endeavor, wrote an op-ed basically saying, hey, everyone doing business with Kanye, maybe don't. That's when Adidas finally had enough. And let's be real, Adidas wasn't just another partnership for Kanye, it was the cornerstone of his entire business empire. We're talking about a collaboration that was bringing in a whopping $2 billion a year. But after Kanye's anti-Semitic comments, Adidas found itself in a pickle. And then on October 25th, 2022, it happened. Adidas made their move, and it was a big one. They pulled the plug on their partnership with Kanye. Adidas didn't just end the partnership quietly. They came out with a statement that left no room for interpretation. An official statement from Adidas was released that said, Adidas does not tolerate anti-Semitism and any other sort of hate speech. Yee's recent comments and actions have been unacceptable, hateful, and dangerous, and they violate the company's values of diversity and inclusion, mutual respect, and fairness. This decision cost Kanye a cool $1.5 billion, and just like that, poof, it's gone. During an interview on Candace Owens' podcast, the 47-year-old rapper admitted that he was drinking when he posted the offensive tweet. However, when asked why he didn't explain that he was intoxicated prior, he said he didn't want to be discredited because he still considered the comments his truth. And once Adidas pulled out, it wasn't just about losing a partnership, it was about losing credibility, losing face, and losing the foundation of his entire business empire. And that was just the first domino to fall on a series of brand breakups that hit Kanye's empire like a tsunami. It's like everyone in the business world suddenly realized they were playing hot potato with a live grenade. Let's start with Gap. They were already on shaky ground with Kanye, but after Adidas broke the news, they pulled the plug on their Yeezy partnership faster than you can say overpriced hoodie. But the domino effect was just getting started. Balenciaga, the fancy fashion brand that had Kanye strutting down their runway at Paris Fashion Week, decided to ghost him just a few days later. Their parent company, Kering, politely said, "We had no future plans with Kanye." It's like they said, "It's not you, it's actually you." The hits kept coming for Kanye. His talent agency, Creative Artists Agency, dropped him. Even Foot Locker, the place where sneakerheads go to drool over shoes, announced they wouldn't be carrying any more Yeezy products in their stores or online. And it wasn't just the fashion and entertainment world that was running for the hills. Even big banks like JP Morgan Chase were like, "Yeah, we're good. Thanks, but no thanks." Talk about your bank account getting put on the naughty list. The crazy part is all of this happened in the span of just a few weeks. Kanye went from being on top of the world to watching his empire crumble. And just when you thought Kanye had hit rock bottom, he decided to grab a shovel and keep digging. And boy, did he dig deep. We're talking Super Bowl deep. You know that little event where millions of people tune in to watch commercials interrupted by the occasional football? Well, Kanye certainly made sure his commercial was one to remember for all the wrong reasons. Kanye West's Super Bowl stunt took brand destruction to a whole new level. Imagine spending $7 million on an ad spot not to promote a new album, but to showcase teeth. Yep, you heard that right. Kanye decided to use his precious airtime to ramble about dental work while sitting in a dentist chair. After directing millions of viewers to Yeezy.com, Kanye pulled a switcheroo that left everyone's jaw on the floor. But instead of shoes or fancy jackets, he was selling a white t-shirt with the black swastika. One that was certainly shocking when you initially saw it. People were outraged, industry insiders were stunned, and crisis management experts probably needed a crisis management expert of their own. Ron Torosian, a PR guru, didn't hold back. He called out Shopify for hosting Yeezy.com and allowing the sale of such a despicable symbol. When your marketing moves are being labeled as colossal mistakes, you know you've really outdone yourself. On February 9th, the ad aired, and by February 11th, Shopify had enough and pulled the plug on Yeezy.com, citing violations of its terms of service. Let's put this into perspective. Kanye had already lost billions in partnerships and deals. His reputation was in tatters, and somehow he thought, you know what would fix this? A Super Bowl ad about teeth and a hate symbol t-shirt. But wait, there's more. Even his talent agency, 33andWest, decided they'd had enough. They dropped him, citing harmful and hateful remarks. It's like everyone in the entertainment industry suddenly realized that Kanye wasn't good for business anymore. His actions had real consequences for others. Shopify, a platform used by countless small businesses, had to deal with the fallout. They were forced to choose between allowing free speech and preventing the spread of hate symbols. And let's not forget about the employees and partners who were probably watching this unfold with the mix of horror and resignation. Even celebrities like Jamie Lee Curtis tried to talk some sense into Kanye, reminding him that words matter and that threats against Jewish people have led to genocide in the past. But something tells me that didn't really make that much of a difference. Kanye's $7 million miscue serves as a masterclass in how not to handle, well, anything. He managed to turn a massive advertising opportunity into a PR disaster that likely cost him way more in the long run. It's a stark reminder that even with all the money in the world, you can't buy common sense or good judgment. And in Kanye's case, it seems he's fresh out of both. But let's be real for a second. Kanye's financial situation has taken a nosedive that would make even the most daring roller coaster enthusiast dizzy. But here's the kicker. Even Kanye's version of broke is still pretty darn rich by normal people's standards. Forbes, the people who love counting other people's money, have crunched the numbers, and Kanye's sitting on a cool $400 million. That's like going from I can buy a small country rich to I can only afford a really nice private island rich. Poor guy, right? This is likely because Kanye's music catalog is still bringing in some serious dough. We're talking about $5 million a year just from people streaming his old hits. That's right, even if Kanye never made another song, he'd be making more money than most of us will see in a lifetime just from people listening to Gold Digger on repeat. But let's be honest, Kanye's road to rebuilding his empire isn't going to be smooth sailing. We're talking lawsuits with former employees claiming discrimination and harassment, rumors of divorce with Bianca Censori, and other lawsuits he's facing, like for samples he used on his album Donda. And yet, despite all this drama, Kanye still owns properties worth over $100 million. We're talking luxury homes, ranches, the whole shebang. He's got places in California and Wyoming that most of us could only dream of visiting, let alone owning. So yeah, he might have lost a billion or two, but he's not exactly slumming it. So what's next for Kanye? There have been talks about Kanye dropping a crypto coin, but based on what we've seen in the past, that doesn't necessarily go all too well. See the link in the top of the video for more about a previous influencer launching a crypto coin that fell, well, flat. Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure with Kanye, it's never going to be boring. Looking at Kanye's recent actions, it's been hard not to feel sad. This is someone who's changed music and fashion forever. He inspired millions and shaped pop culture. I mean, there's no doubting his genius. But lately, his troubling behavior has made many people question his legacy. Recently, Kanye shared a shocking photo on Instagram, and it was pretty offensive. It showed the KKK clothing with the caption, "Outfit of the Day." Instagram quickly took down the post, but the damage was already done, and fans and the public were deeply upset and concerned. There have been other posts on his Instagram and Twitter that have just been, well, plain shocking. From posting that his next album cover is going to be that of a red swastika to claiming that he wanted his next album to be called Hitler, and even claiming my new sound is called anti-Semitic. At the same time, Kanye announced he's bringing back his Sunday service on March 16th, 2025. Some fans are hopeful that this means he's changing for the better, but others worry that it just might be another chapter in his controversies. It's disappointing to watch someone so talented make decisions that hurt his career and spread harmful ideas. Now the question is, can Kanye fix the damage he's caused and rebuild his career? Will he rise again, or is this the start of a slow fade from fame? Only time will tell. One thing's for certain, this Kanye roller coaster is far from over. Will his new album put him back on top, or will it continue to divide, leaving him to lose more of his fortune in the end? And the one thing we know is in the world of fame and fortune, sometimes your biggest enemy is sometimes yourself. Words and actions can cost more than anyone expects. Well, folks, thanks for watching. Please drop a comment below and let us know your thoughts. If you like this story, please check out other videos. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more, and we'll see you next time.